You're listening to PumaPodcast.
The year of the wooden snake will be in time of tremendous opportunity, malalaking opportunity, renewal, bagong energy, and mga potential. Kaya naman sa mga namumblema sa pera, namumblema sa trabaho, opportunity, this is their best time. Magsimula muli.
That was feng shui expert Hans Kua, making his annual prediction for 2025 based on Chinese astrology. 5 years ago, he received criticism online after predicting a good year for most of the zodiac signs. It was 2020, a year not seen as quote-unquote good after the COVID-19 pandemic forced the world into lockdown and took millions of lives. But the off-the-mark prediction hardly stopped believers from consulting their horoscope. In this episode of Teka Teka, powered by PumaPodcast, we dig into why many Filipinos still continue to subscribe to astrology and other fortune-telling practices. I'm Jen Garcia. The beginning of the year is time for predictions. Horoscope content is especially popular at this time, and then hits another peak on Chinese New Year, which usually falls between the end of January and the middle of February. But log into social media and you will see countless readings all year round. Some people take note of the period known as Mercury retrograde, blaming mishaps and bad luck on Mercury's quirky orbit. Many people are familiar with the zodiac signs, such as Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer. But some people go even deeper into it. Others dig into their birth chart to know their sun sign, moon sign, and other planetary signs. There's the different elements with their own symbolism: fire, earth, air, and water. Some people even pay to get their fortunes read, booking sessions with astrologers, feng shui masters, and tarot card readers. I spoke to Prime Cabral, a professional tarot reader, to shed some light on why she and other tarot readers decide to give people their guidance. Usually, her clients are women aged 20 to 25 who sought out advice for their career, finances, and love life.
For me, tarot was like a calling that I had to answer, and then when I did that, I didn't even know it was like a professional thing. I just wanted to help people, but then I realized, whenever we do work, always tell ourselves that, you tell yourself that my energy is my currency, and the universe pays me to provide this currency, to provide this energy for other people.
Scientifically, the positions of the stars and planets hardly seem connected to what is happening to a person. And yet, why do people spend time, energy, and money consulting the heavens to navigate their life on Earth? We'll try to get some answers from a Filipino research paper after a quick break. In 2021, a group of researchers from De La Salle University Integrated School studied the spread of astrology in social media amid the pandemic. They measured the susceptibility of Filipino millennials to what is called the Barnum effect, a psychological phenomenon where people are convinced that descriptions apply to them specifically, even though it contains generic information. Case in point, the quote, "Take what resonates and leave the rest," end quote, is a statement that appears again and again in astrology content on social media. It's a cue to cherry-pick readings that fit your situation and ignore those that do not. It sounds very similar to confirmation bias, the psychological tendency to interpret information that is consistent with your own beliefs. It's hearing what you want to hear. This seems to be the key in understanding the question of the continued influence of astrology, despite inaccurate readings like Hans Kua's in 2020. Research literature suggests that astrology is used as a coping mechanism in times of crisis or uncertainty. In other words, people seek reassurance rather than guidance. It's not hard to imagine that people who find themselves in a situation out of their control would seek comfort in higher power, like fate written in the stars. The results of the La Salle study agree with this. It found that people with higher stress levels have higher engagement with astrology content, and therefore are more likely to believe in them. It's no wonder that a lot of astrology predictions focus on topics that people may be stressing over.
Kaya naman sa mga namumblema sa pera, namumblema sa trabaho, opportunity, this is their best time. Magsimula muli.
That's what Hans Kua said at the beginning of this episode. I took the opportunity to ask Prime to do a reading for me. I chose to look into my first quarter of the year, the period from January to March.
First quarter readings are usually more light because this focuses on the journey, the journey more towards the first quarter rather than personal healing, which I do in my personal readings. But what I do as well in my tarot readings is I'd like to focus more on the aspect of manifesting. So let's see. First impression, there is money in this first quarter. I mean, you did mention you have a job. So there is really an opportunity for you to like hold on to this financial abundance. I really want you to hold on to that because it's appearing this quarter. And something tells me you have a mentor. You might have a mentor in your work because they're the queen and king of pentacles again. Usually when we see the king or queen in an element, specific element, it means a masculine or a feminine figure. That could be a partner, a dad, a mom, a tita, titahan, ate. So you might have a strong mentor in your work. Whatever career you're pursuing right now, there is happiness to it. There is a happy ending. I'm sensing that your partner may be someone that you may rely on for support, for your inspiration. So he may be also someone, who can help you in your career. I hope with this quarter, I hope you channel more into that social butterfly. I'm not sure if you're fully an extrovert, but it's more of that part of you. There is that part of you that yearns for a genuine connection with people, and I hope you tap into that.
This was the first time I got a tarot card reading, and I found it eerily accurate. It could be the Barnum effect at work. Maybe it was just me trying to figure out why I've been feeling the way I have been for so long. The cards in Prime offered words of affirmation in that regard. Or maybe, just maybe, it's the universe speaking to me through the cards. Either way, let's see how the year goes. And that was today's episode of Teka Teka. Once again, I'm Jen Garcia. This episode was edited by Anthony Tobias and produced by Jill Caro. Thanks for listening.